BlackOps Production is an Atlanta-based production company that knows how to create experiences. They handle event production, operations, audiovisual experiences, and are known for getting the details right while creating moments that feel intentional. Today, we're getting into what it really takes to run production behind the scenes and how they bring big ideas to life with two of the four managing partners. The team has worked with some of the most notable companies such as Essence, BET, YouTube, and Lucid Motors, just to name a few. This team has excelled, and now they are our next guest on Big Moves, Bigger Conversation. Warren and Justin, welcome to the studio.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having us.
It's been so long. No, but really excited. I know you guys aren't new to being on set, but rather, how often do you get to be in front of the cameras versus building out the production?
Not often. In front of the camera is not my favorite spot, but for y'all, I'm trying to be here and make sure I show up. But I love production. We're always on all types of sets, so it's different to be on this side of the camera. But
yeah, I keep telling you, when we get the budget, we're going out. It'll be collab with. But we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. And so I definitely want an opportunity for you guys to share your stories individually. But I would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge that there are two other members of BlackOps Production who were not able to join us in studio due to financial constraints with BNBC. But on a more serious note, I do want you guys to go ahead and walk through how you guys came together and like all things BlackOps.
Sure. So my name is Warren. Obviously, I'm CEO of BlackOps Productions, and my main role is trying to lead the team and see through production side. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, so Justin and I went to high school together. Also went to college together with Justin and some other business partners, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, so it's been a lifelong journey. I've known Justin for over half my life at this point. It's been a friend, a confidant, and
Yeah.
my other business partners as well.
My name is Justin Perry. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Like Warren said, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for BlackOps Productions. So if you've seen any of the cool reels or behind the scenes footage on Instagram, that's from me and my small mighty team. As Warren stated, we're both from Charlotte, North Carolina. So we have known each other since high school. Our friendship goes back to my freshman year of college, freshman year of high school, excuse me. He was my drum major in marching band. So there was always leadership in the realm of our friendship.
Yeah.
We were also both in student government, both student body presidents. We both went to Morehouse College.
Yeah.
We both were involved in the campus activity boards where we planned homecoming, spring flings, the concerts. So planning has been something that has lived amongst our friendship since we've known each other. We were also both teachers. So I taught for 9 years with the New York City Department of Education. He taught for 2. So leadership through community has also been like a through line through our relationship. And our other 2 business partners, Ashley Umukoro, she is our Chief Relations Officer. Actually, she's got a new title.
Chief Partnerships Officer.
Chief Partnerships Officer. And Ahmed, he is our Chief Financial Officer.
Okay.
They both have been a part of this thing since the beginning. Ashley went to Spelman College, so she was one of the people that was helping us plan these homecomings and spring flings.
Yeah.
And Ahmed was also a teacher, and him and Warren and myself planned convenings for Black male educators while we were teaching. So that is a short summary of how we know each other. And when we were all in New York together in Brooklyn, Warren started throwing these parties called The Mix.
Okay.
And they were basically mixology parties where we would invite anyone to come and learn how to make 5 cocktails, but it was like a different type of day party that Brooklyn hadn't seen at the moment. And so there were about 3 series of that, and we really started like figuring out like, hey, we can do this. We're doing this,
Yeah.
and maybe we should make it a business.
Love that. And it's a couple of things in which I gathered just from the intro. Number one, you guys sitting on the leadership board. I didn't hear CEO, CFO, CMO. So really excited just to hear from you guys more about your story. But the other thing that I think I don't want to brush over is how you guys are doing life together. I think that is incredible. You're and what from a B&BC perspective, what we aim to do. We want to work around people we enjoy. And so I get giddy when I hear you guys talk about being in friendship, in community for over 20 years and being really intentional about ensuring you're bringing in other folks that you want to be around. And you
Yeah.
don't get to pick that unless you own it. And so shout out to you. And if the audience would clap, super proud of you guys. And then the last part is around the homecoming. I got to experience that, and it was such a good. We'll throw in some photos. We will not include videos, but definitely you can see just the realization of understanding community behind events, and I think that is what makes you guys, at least from my perspective, really unique in the industry.
Yeah, there's like we call ourselves BlackOps. It's like a black operation. It's a
Yeah,
double entendre in a sense. Like production is all about operations, tight logistics, but for us, it's really about putting a community of black people on, and it's the operation behind it. So it's a black operation. So it's like a double meaning behind it, and we stand by that, like with everything we try to do.
I absolutely love that. As you guys think about back to your experience, was there a specific moment when you all looked at each other and said, "We have a blueprint, and this could truly be something real and scalable"? And what signaled that for you? Was it revenue, traction, engagement, or demand?
Well, like Justin said, we've been doing events for like like over half our lives
Yeah,
together. So it's always been a natural, organic thing that we'd want do a host a kickback, but it'd be extra, right?
yeah,
Like branded bottles, branded cups, branded napkins, but we are in somebody's basement or a house.
yeah,
So we've always been doing that type of stuff. But as we got into our professional careers, everyone kind of went into their own lane. Justin was continued teaching. I went off and ventured into tech world. Ahmed had ventured into like coaching and administrative support, and then Ashley was in healthcare. But we also always were like doing things on the side.
yeah.
So when we started, I was at one of the most critical roles that I had when I worked for somebody else was Teach for America. Like I was the manager director of operations for their 25th anniversary summit, which was them celebrating 25 years. It was a 15,000 person event. We had like 13 hotels, Washington, D.C., $13 million budget. And I was charged with leading the event operations. And immediately I was like, how am I going to make this happen?
Yes.
And it was actually not that hard of a question to answer because I just immediately went back to the community of people who I've been around for my whole life.
Yeah.
So we pulled together all of our resources. I had a contractor budget.
Yeah.
And like, that's honestly when Black Ops had unofficially began because that was like in 2016. But
Yeah.
so I hired a bunch of friends who I know did great work and who
Yeah.
were really smart. And we ended up just doing this big, phenomenal event. And I think I was age 26 maybe at that time.
Yeah.
Like,
A
and then
young
Justin,
one.
a young one, a tender one.
Hey, still attractive.
Okay, and you know. I didn't know that was a question.
Well,
But
you know,
no,
some people have growth spurt. But that's not
but like we successfully executed this amazing event, and from there I learned a lot. Our team learned a lot, and then the next year after, in 2017, is when we actually filed the paperwork.
Oh, wow.
And we started Black Ops Consulting Group because at that time it's just like a group of smart people who were just like doing whatever. It wasn't necessarily just relegated to events, but it was like projects. Like,
Yeah.
okay, we lived in New York. You have a business that's trying to move from uptown to downtown. You need a project manager to make it run smoothly,
Yeah.
to organize everything. Cool, we got you. You
Yeah.
want to do a gala? Cool, we got you. You trying to do we don't do weddings, but you trying to do a wedding? Cool, we got you.
Yeah.
So it became then where it was like, I think we all had the epiphany that we all like doing this and it's a hobby, but
Yeah.
it's like, damn, we can actually make money from our hobby
Yeah.
and like good money at that.
Yeah.
So we started pooling together all of our resources, signed the paperwork on forming and establishing an entity, and then from there, just kind of was off to the races. We continued to work at our full-time jobs because none of us are trust fund babies where we
Yeah.
can just be like, Mom, Dad, cash the check,
Yeah.
let me venture off to my own pathway without any like responsibilities. But we did it in a really responsible way, where we set metrics and targets to the point where it's like, okay, we know the ultimate goal is to want to work for ourselves.
Yeah.
And we know we have a vision of what we want. And we know that it takes resources, and we know that we are all providers for our families, and we have to, there's financial responsibility there.
Yeah.
And due diligence is required, is like, that's a part of the a lot of Black people's experience and
Yeah.
and what they go through. So we had a point where we wanted to build enough revenue and client base to be like, okay, now I can transition from this cushy like W-2 employee job to something where it is wildly unpredictable, and we don't know when exactly we're going to get paid and how we're going to get paid. But it's been the most rewarding thing that I personally have done in my lifetime, and I think that um, it speaks volumes to the community that we built and the relationships that we have with each other.
Yeah, and I want to just go into one point because I don't know if I missed it, but how long were you guys doing both before you went 100%?
So 2013 is,
2017 to 2021,
yeah, and then
2022, really? Yeah.
yeah, so it was like right around the tail end of COVID, I think, when Justin had first left, and then to go full time, and then after that, I think maybe 8 to 9 months later, I jumped, and then I probably like 6 months after meds. It's like it's been an ongoing,
That's incredible.
yeah.
And
So
shout out to Ashley. She still has her W-2 job, so
Uh,
she's still doing the Lord's work.
yeah,
Well, I don't know if it's the Lord.
it's something, but
is something.
it's like
Yeah.
we all got to a point where we're working 2 full-time jobs
Yeah.
and still killing it at our day job, but
Yeah.
also like demanding clients and amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
And our coworkers would be watching our stories like, how y'all
Doing
like,
both.
how are you doing both?
Yeah,
And it was
yeah.
like getting to a point where it was wildly unsustainable, slightly unhealthy.
Yeah.
And then we just were like, okay, well, this is the target that we need to meet in order for us to feel comfortable with the transition.
Love that.
And we're gonna do it like in a strategic way. Not everybody at once, but it's like, Warren, Justin, you go first, I'll go second, and then.
Well, that's the part that I wanted to hit on. How did you determine, Justin? Why were you so comfortable saying me first?
Well, funnily enough, at my W-2 job, Warren was my manager. So we were able to literally
The circle
roll
just keeps going.
roll off literally in a way that did not hurt the team that we were leaving behind
Okay.
at our W-2 job. And
Yeah.
also, so like it was an ode to like our past relationships to make sure we were doing them right because
Yeah.
we didn't leave them hanging. But also they knew that there were bigger things for us.
Yeah.
So it was responsible in that sense.
Yeah.
And we never kept it a secret at work. It's
Yeah.
like, no, yeah, we're about to go do this BET project, or no, we're about to go do this YouTube
Yeah.
thing. We'll be back,
Yeah.
but so it was never a secret. And
I think that's what's interesting because even when I think about VMBC, I don't tell anyone at work like what I'm doing. I keep now at this point in my career, I think I'm more thoughtful about what I share. And it's not that I can't share because there's nothing from a legality perspective that says I can't, but it's just, do I want them to then have this version of me? And right now, the answer is no. But I do think that's interesting that you've always been vocal. And I do think from a listener perspective, even folks in the audience, I think they would appreciate maybe what got you to that point of understanding, hey, it's okay for me to show this duality to myself.
I think it was the nature of the organization that we
Okay.
worked with. We worked at Relay. I'm not saying that everyone should do
Yeah,
that. That
yeah.
is not what I'm saying, because
Hey, that's the disclosure.
you do not want to be in that unemployment line. But for us, we've worked in education space, which leans towards a very liberal mindset.
Yeah.
And it leans towards something that aligns with what we believe in.
Yeah.
And Relay Graduate School of Education, it's a national graduate school, serves the purposes of like helping teachers get master's degrees, but
Yeah.
also has leadership programs, which is what Justin and I were team members and colleagues on that team. And for Relay, it was very much like, that we were killing it at work,
Yeah.
and we were doing what we had to do.
Yeah.
And people were fascinated by the other work that we were doing.
Yeah.
And Relay actually understood how much they benefited from the connection and network that we had, that we still leverage to this day.
Yeah.
So, when they were doing a happy hour or mixer, we already knew the DJ that could be called like that.
Yeah.
We already knew how to negotiate audiovisual prices so that we could get the lowest bang for our buck for the conferences and events that we were doing for
Yeah.
we already had expansive networks of people who could, help us with various different things and just kind of make the program a little like more like edgy and cool,
Yeah.
and something that
Without the guardrails. that
Exactly,
sometimes
exactly.
They have to stay
within,
Yeah.
So it's still super professional, but with like a little production behind it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I think that they really appreciated that. So it was never also like kind of hired that team from the ground up. So I started as an individual contributor, and then 7 years later, when I left, there were probably like 10 to 12 members on the operations and
Yeah.
events and sales team. So it was already a really tight knit community.
Yeah.
Because yeah, we did everything
Yeah,
together.
we're gonna go a little bit off script here because I find that's interesting. Like you've taken what you were doing not only from your 9 to 5, but how much of your corporate experience played into your comfortability around expanding outside of, like, I feel like that's a lot of our viewers right now. They are saying, I want to go entrepreneur, but I
Yeah.
know, like, how do I do it and how do I trust myself
Yeah,
to do it?
I think the best thing, sometimes I always wished I was like, man, I should have done this sooner. But then I realized like, nah, like the timing was perfect.
Yes.
And I mentioned this earlier, but at 26 years old, me and my friends were managing a $13 million budget
Yeah.
for an organization that was widely known in
Yes.
America. Um, like their biggest event, their highest pinnacle event of their entire existence. And it is, from the outside looking in, I think people thought it looked like easy and flawless,
Yeah.
but it was very daunting. Like we learned so many lessons.
Yeah.
And fast forward, years from that, when I left Teach for America and started at Relay, the budget went from 6 million to $20 million. So there's a lot of things that me and Justin, we all learned, and also at the expense of others' money, right? Like I'm not saying we were out here like blowing cash, but there were accidents. Like sometimes in this seat that I sit in, people don't see when I mess up, and I
Yeah.
mess up. Like
Yeah.
he will tell you, like I
Yeah.
mess up, but it's not as like widely seen. It's not a public mess up, but it can be expensive.
Yeah.
And there were moments where I was like, damn, I just made a $50,000 mistake.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm glad that I had those opportunities to make that
There, and
mistake
that
on
was your
another.
own coin.
Yeah. But I mean, the benefits that I brought to the organization wildly outweighed those mess ups. But I'm like always hard on myself by
Yeah.
any little thing. And like $50,000 is not a thing to blink at. That's the potential, like, coordinator level
Yeah.
job. But those experiences in terms of like growth and scale and when to think about hiring an FTE versus a contractor, when to think about your fiscal year closing, how to like make budgets strategically, how to think about having an efficient meeting and
Yeah.
coming prepared with an agenda because time is important,
Yeah.
how to build culture. Like
Yeah.
all of these things are things that I learned through that corporate environment.
Yeah.
But I would say that like even beyond that, like for me, Morehouse like
Yeah.
really brought out all of those things.
Yeah.
And it kind of like laid out this cool landscape and this like petri dish to play within before I got to the broader world. So I knew how to do some of the things, or like theoretically, but then the corporate experience gave me like the real life practice,
Yeah.
but with like other people outside of Black people.
Yeah. So again, you're kind of driving the conversation. We were going to go to HBCU, but that's perfect, right? Because more, maybe the other aspect that you didn't have an appreciation for before is you could go into education. You very much are a teacher, and you light up zooming on that camera as you're talking about it as an educator, right? And I think that is what's, at least in my community, I get excited about is the willingness to share those anecdotes and say, listen, there's a timing. I don't want you just to jump right out and do it. It has to make sense. And when you're thinking about the move that you're making, talk to your network.
Yeah.
Understand where you are in your career path. Understand, does it make sense from a financial perspective, but you're also thinking about the grander landscape of how else will this impact me going down the road.
Right.
And you don't necessarily have to have all the answers, but you do want to be thoughtful.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't just rely on Instagram.
Yeah.
In this segment of Ask Sasha, we have I Love Me _Jasmine 2 from Charlotte asked, what were your top 5 books from last year? Jasmine knows I am a voracious reader, and so these would be my top 5 recommendations. The Best Man, Unfinished Business by Malcolm D. Lee. Loved it. It was a 10 out of 10. Colliding with Fate, which has 4 books in the Rise and Fall series by A.E. Valdez. Loved her down. I would start with Colliding, which is out of order, but that'll get you hooked. The Ethics series by Ashley Antoinette. Chef's Kiss. I'm literally right now on 5 of the 6 books. I just thought about telling Jasmine, like, the Ethics series by itself would have been all 5 of my top books. Like, Ashley Antoinette's writing style is incredible. Number 4 on my list, you guys know this if you watched any episode previously, the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan. She recently finished it with Can't Get Enough. Amazing book. Her just writing style consistently is always a 10 out of 10. And then the last one is a newer author that I came across, and that's Brittany Cherry. I fell in love with her writing style by way of the mixtape. Another one that I picked up from Brittany Cherry was Wreckage, The Wreckage of Us, and that one was really good too. And so, Jasmine, I appreciate you sending in the question. Those are my top fives. Guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But more importantly, tell me what you think about my recommendations. This has been another segment with Ask Sasha. Another pillar that you both have spoke a lot about is community. And so BlackOps was built with a strong commitment to community and representation. How do you balance building a profitable, scalable business while staying rooted in giving back and creating access for opportunity for others?
I think we do that a lot of different ways.
Okay.
I think one is knowing where our community is and knowing where their strengths are.
Yeah.
Like knowing where we can put people and plug them into
Yes.
places where they will shine and
Yes.
do amazing work.
Yes.
Like give them opportunities that they may not get just because they just don't have the
Yes.
network. So I think that's one way. And I think another way is just making sure people are paid
Yes.
well and
Yes.
on time.
Yes.
Like people are paid for their work. Like time is not free.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that people seem to forget.
Yeah.
We don't really accept discounts, although we will take it. But like a lot of people, like within our network, say like, "Oh, like we'll give you the homie rate." We're like, "No, there is no homie rate. What is your rate?
Yeah.
What is your rate?
Yeah.
Because you are worth that and probably a lot more. But you'll
Yeah.
never know if you keep giving people discounts."
Yeah.
So that's one way as well. And then additionally, like we have been blessed to be put in a financial situation for the last 3 years where at the end of each year, we're able to give our team of contractors bonuses.
Yeah.
So like just very simple things that seem small but go a long, long way. Like an
Yeah.
extra check in December means a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah. And now I work for BlackOps. I want my production team to know there is not a check we're not there yet. That
But
is extraordinary.
It's about this idea of community capitalism,
Yes.
right? Like, and through a social lens. How can we bring a bunch of people together within their own respective territories and like build on top of each other in
Yeah.
a real genuine and authentic way, right? Like, how do we all benefit from your skill of being an amazing conversationalist, and like our skill of being, good with logistics, and somebody else's skill with marketing and advertising? Like, how do we all come to the table? And I think that's like the beauty of production.
Yeah.
Because production
Touch.
requires all of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
elements,
Yeah.
and it's like required of you in order to be successful for you to lean on other people of which you have no damn clue what they're doing.
Right.
Right?
It's a trust component.
It's a trust component, right? And that trust is built over time,
Yeah.
which is why we start with like a lot of our friends, because
Yeah.
we know you, like
Yeah.
we know how you operate, we know your temperament, we know what your skill sets are, we know your weaknesses, and
Yeah.
you know ours. So like we strategically bring those things where appropriate, because it's
Yeah.
not always appropriate
Yeah.
to work with every friend in every capacity.
100%.
So that level of discernment is important. But like, how do we create these environments where we all can cash this check?
You are creating a BlackOps ecosystem that I absolutely want to be a part of, because that is the goal. Like I know you guys are just, sort of speaking about it really frankly, but you are ahead of your time. And I want to be the first one to say it on BNBC that what you guys are doing is truly extraordinary. And one of the reasons that the more I heard about, so I met you guys all individually in our own social dynamic, but it's extraordinary to see that you're able to tap in professionally, but also enjoy the company socially, which not everybody can do, but like what the goal is.
Yeah.
You want to build with your friends.
Right.
Staying into the community pillar, can you share a specific example where you chose community over profit and what that decision looked like in practice?
So there are like, when we think about an activation we're doing for a client, whether that's like YouTube, BT, or Essence, or whatever,
Yep.
There's always a fixed T&E budget, right? Like
Yep.
there's always a fixed travel budget. So ideal world is like all of our events are in Atlanta, and like our core here, our headquarters is here, our
Yep.
core group of talented contractors and employees are mostly here. So we don't have to travel anybody. But well, we see the value of building that community piece and really like leaning on the people that we know and trust.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had to take profits out of our own agency fee in order to, well, sometimes we decide to take
Yeah.
profits out of our own agency fee in order to travel like production assistants.
Yeah.
And like traditionally, production assistants are some of those like support roles that you found locally.
Yeah.
But for us, like we will drop $8,000 on $8 to $10,000 on our agency fee. That's like money that we could have profited
Right.
because we see the value of bringing those consistent people that we've relied upon
Yeah.
versus just hiring locally.
Yeah.
And that brings about a few things. That brings about an opportunity for us to keep a level of consistency. So our team knows standard operating procedures.
Yeah.
They know how to load the truck. They know
Yeah.
how to unload it in a safe way, take inventory because
Yeah.
they've done it so many times. They know how to deal with clients. Like, and then sometimes when you go to pick some random person, you just don't know. Like
Right.
they might be gone for half the day on a smoke break.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's like, what did you what's happening right
Yeah.
now? So for us, like it gives a level of consistency, which is always appreciated in production because there's always a curveball.
Yeah.
But it also more ultimately and gives us an opportunity to provide like an opportunity for to make some money to
Yeah.
to some of our friends. So
Yeah.
it's like those are one of those ways where it's like we could choose to do the $10,000 to $12,000 pockets, or we could choose to travel
Expand,
people out
provide
and provide a
opportunity.
flight,
Yeah.
hotel, per diem, ground transportation for these 6 to 10 people where we
Yeah.
could have hired locally. And then I think Justin hit on it a little while ago. Like it's not a traditional thing for contractors to get bonuses, and
Yeah.
for the last 3 years, we
Yeah.
have prided ourselves in making sure we have a line item so that certain roles in our organizations who are contractor roles do get that opportunity to make a bonus based on how many events they've supported for the year, and it comes at a really timely manner, which is around the holidays.
Yeah.
Like we know some people might be struggling, some
Yeah.
people may not be struggling financially, but they're struggling mentally, and it's like, okay, I can give me some shoes I always wanted because I want this for me. Whatever the reason is,
Yeah.
it's like doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
we want to be a conduit for people to enjoy the end of the year, and sometimes that is through financial.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Right. There's other ways. I mean, you're providing exposure to opportunities, and Justin already hit on this, where they may not have been able to get in those rooms, and now you've opened up their portfolio, and them then taking advantage of it could lead to other
For sure.
opportunities. I think the other thing that is resonating with me is a lot of times we hear these corporations say, "Well, I wanted to, but da 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 da." When there's intentionality backed, you can absolutely create the line item. And so I feel like for me anyway, as I'm building BNBC, I want to be that level of intentional around the folks who are part of the front line, right?
Mhm.
You want to make sure people feel value. Sometimes that looks like a financial contribution, but sometimes that looks just like opportunity.
Yeah.
And they always say, at least I've always felt, there's not a role that I've gone into that has actually been challenging. It's just about it, what has been more challenging is getting the opportunity to show up. And so I love Justin when he was like, I don't want the homie rate. I want to know your rate. And here at BNBC, we do pay folks rate. The last pillar we want to hit on is business and strategy. And so, as demand increases, how are you thinking about scaling without losing what makes you guys unique?
um I guess I'll hit on the like business portion and maybe talk about the
Yeah.
warehouse, but
Yeah.
the new headquarters. But like scaling and growth is exciting. It is scary,
Yeah.
and like everything in between. Um, and I think that do like scaling responsibly while the things are coming in, it's like flying a plane and trying to build it at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of opportunities for mess ups.
Yeah.
So in terms of when we started from 2017 versus where we are now, there's a ton of different things that we've been doing differently. And you know, when I think about the different divisions of our work, from an administrative standpoint, like we used to keep a bunch of our sales records in spreadsheets, right?
Uh-huh.
Like Google Docs, Excel, whatever. Here's our client list. Let's follow back up. And then in the last, I think 2 years, we've moved from spreadsheet to actual like CRM, client
Yes.
relationship management
Yes.
system. So it's like, how do we get more data analytics
Yeah.
in an easy way that we don't have to make these crazy pivot tables and formulas? No, there's software out there to do what we need. Cash flow projections, data analysis, like client surveys, feedback, like all of these things are parts of the business that we learned in a corporate environment,
Yep.
but there's a limited time in the day.
Yeah.
So as you scale and want to grow all these things, it's the things that externally need to be taken care of, meaning you need producers, you need
Yep.
PAs, you need
Yep.
creative directors, but internally, and it's just important to get the foundation of your business
Yeah.
correct, right?
Yeah.
Like our operating agreement, is that tight? Is that
Yep.
to make sure that when we do have disagreements, that we all can revert back to this paper to say,
Yeah.
this is what we agreed to.
Yeah.
Like standard operating procedures. Like, okay, we got credit cards. We have to now do expense reports and tag our receipts so
Yeah.
that if we get audited, then we're all set. Shout
Yeah.
out to Ahmed, our chief operating officer,
Yeah.
for like staying on us about that. So like there's all these different things like policies, procedures that these corporate structural things, like we never aspire to be nobody's Bank of America or like super corporate structure, and we have our ways to like lean away from that. But there are some important things that we've learned in terms of business integrity and strength and strategy. And one of the most important things is personnel.
Yeah.
So there's two big decisions at the end of the year that we always, well, three big decisions at the end of the year that we always face ourselves with. Is one, do we cash this check out and put it in our own piggy bank and be like, let's ride out?
Uh-huh.
Or do we reinvest in infrastructure and equipment?
Yeah.
Like we have video walls, lights, sound, like all of these things
Yeah.
that are very expensive and expensive to maintain. Or do we put the money back into personnel
Yeah.
and like hire people to help us make this work more sustainable?
Yeah.
And this is like a forever like
Pull.
yeah, like push and
Absolutely.
pull. And finding that combination with a group of four of owners, it is challenging, but because we're so aligned in terms of our friendship
Yeah.
and because we started as friends, we always find a pathway towards like what will become an even better year.
Yeah. Because the why, you guys have stayed focused on the why.
Yeah.
And with that, and it was actually something that I talked about in my own episode of like, when you are so laser focused on the why, there's always going to be resolution.
Yeah.
And you have the right people in the room who are also centered around that. What is it called? Oh, you have your not morals, it'll come to me later. Your what you said?
Ethics?
No, it's like your principle when you're
Like a
like,
moral compass? No.
no, but for a business. Oh gosh, they're gonna cut this. I'll figure it out. But this pulls again. I could listen to you guys talk for another hour. Like there's just so much information in what you guys are sharing. But we do have to wrap up this segment. So before we wrap it up, what do you guys hope your story inspires other Black creatives and entrepreneurs to believe is possible?
Hopefully people get from this story that like the world is yours. Like you literally have the tools amongst you to build.
Yeah.
You can build horizontally. You don't have to build vertically.
Yeah.
Like you have the team already. You just have to open up your eyes and see where the people are because they are there.
Yeah.
You are already in position to learn from your current and past experience, and you can use those experiences to build whatever you want to build. I think, like as Warren has mentioned, like we've had a lot of professional experience that we have used as our personal toolbox to build this business.
Yeah.
And anyone can do that. Like it like yes, we are unique because it's our group of friends, but like everyone has a community. Like you just have to reach out and see where that community is, and you also have to meet them where they are.
Right.
Like a lot of times people expect the world from one person. It's like, no, meet them where they are.
Yeah. Love that, Justin. Love that. This is always the exciting part for me. What is next for BlackOps?
Okay, so here at BlackOps Productions, we are in the process of building our own headquarters here in Atlanta. So we are no longer going to be renting a space, but we are building one from scratch. We already have the land. We're in the process of getting it rezoned. Our hope is that this headquarters becomes a creative space where people that are in the arts and in production can have a space to build their own thing.
Yeah.
It'll also act as as like office space for ourselves, but also our equipment as well. So it is coming. It's coming fast. So you will see a lot of content about that pretty soon.
Look, the BlackOps ecosystem is growing not only from a personnel perspective, but also from a location. And so I love that. Congratulations in advance. That is a VNBC exclusive. All right. So as we segue over to our next segment, it is a game. And so we'll do a Black Ops edition for this or that? And I need you both to answer. This is also the first time I've had two guests at one time, so bear with me. All right, so Black Ops, this or that. Pre-production or post-production?
Oh, definitely pre-production for me.
I was gonna say during the
Yeah.
production. The production. Not post, during.
Got it. Corporate client or events with the homies?
Ooh.
Events with the homies with a corporate backing.
The
Yeah.
budget.
Yes, the budget. Okay.
We keep going back to funding. Section culture or dance culture?
Dance culture.
Well, let's be clear. Justin, look at the camera. He's of the arts.
I'm a section culture. I don't want to be all over the riffraff.
I feel like if there are sections, there should be a dance floor.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so we can watch. So Warren and I can sit up. Hey, Warren.
Okay, what the hell is going on?
And then we would be remiss if we didn't shout out Boozy Bounce. And so Boozy Bounce, Atlanta or New York City?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Boozy Bounce, New York City.
you're turning on us.
I have turned.
Warren,
I would say Boozy Atlanta. Boozy Atlanta.
Yes.
I'm New York.
Boozy New York back in the day when I lived in New York.
Okay. Love that. Okay. So Warren and Justin, I so appreciate you guys coming in studio. This has been an amazing conversation that I honestly do believe could go on for hours, but we have studio time and the budget isn't there. And so thanks again for joining us. Guys, as a reminder, I'm your host, Sasha, and this has been another episode of Big Moves, Bigger Conversation.